Hello everybody and welcome back, and like I just said in my previous video, well, it might not be about previous videos, my Left Astray project, but named Project Immortals because I'm too lazy to change it. Yeah, so I just wanted to show a quick way on how to move a player, give it gravity and jump. You know, just those basic stuff. And yeah, let me what? I didn't mean to do that. I pressed the wrong thing. Right, let's go. Right, so first thing you want to do, you don't need any of this. This is completely null and void to you. Do you need anything from here? No, because there is nothing there. No, right, okay. So you create your room. First of all, create all the sprites that you want in there. You know, just edit it, create new, make it, and then draw what you want it to look like or copy it. Like if you've already got it in a save file somewhere, you click that little plus button, you go, you find it. So like mine would be in desktop, main character, and then it's all this bollocks that I wasted way too much time doing. Yeah, so I can delete that now. Oh, that shit's loud. And then once you've created it into a sprite, name it whatever. Like I normally do that little SPR prefix to make sure that I know that it's a sprite. And then you go to the object and you put the sprite in, so then it chooses what it is. Yeah. And this is when we put the code in. Oh god, it's so loud. Right, so you got your player. Should I start with the player or should I start with the walls? Start with the walls. Okay, so first of all you want to create an empty. Oh fuck, sorry. That shit hurts. Okay, I'll just delete that for now so I can show you. Yeah, fuck it. So, you just create a new object and you name it par underscore wall. If you want to capitalize that, you can, but you don't need to. And this is it. That's all it is. You just got like that. Now you've got a parent wall. What's that mean? It means that there are blocks, like in the floor, like I've got all this, go like that use, you should use parent wall. Ah, probably because I deleted it. Right, so I have to go through now, recreating all of these as parent wall. Um, God, it's gonna take a while. I'll just do the ones that you can interact with at the moment. And then I'll show you what happens if you don't do it. Ah, just did that one. Right, so parent. You can't. Yeah, I'll do it with that one just in case. Parent wall. Okay, and that one parent wall. I have these three because if I go into my character now, and I'll show you. The way he stands, he has a floating 2 blocks there, which I don't want there. So I've just spaced them away, like so. I've created these lines which mask that out. So I've just created them. I've put them in the foreground, so they're always in front of the character, so that they've always covered that gap. Unless you jump, and then you can see it, but you're jumping, so it doesn't really make a difference. Right. So, right, you've created your blocks. They've all got the parent wall, and that's fine. Oh, and you may have seen but that's just that's completely unimportant to you. That's just placing this on top of the block to make sure that you don't see the gap in the foot. Right, so you've created the blocks. I hope I've made that clear. If you want me to go through it again slowly, I will. Right, I'm just going to do that anyway. First of all, create a parent. Name it par wall. Don't change anything. Anything. At all. And then you go to you get all your blocks that you want to interact with, and you put them as parent. Under parent, put it as par wall. That's all you do. Any block that your player will interact with, name it. Put it parent wall. And then, obviously give it a name that makes sense to you. Like I've got that OBJ grass left because it's dirt on the left. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but that's what I've got. And then, yeah, this is where the player comes in, the player moving. So, me and Kenny use these variables. Husper for horizontal speed. Uh, I'll just go left, right, and that for up, down, and then obviously, gravity and grounded, whether they're on the floor or they're off the floor, like if they're jumping or whatever. So if I wanted to, I could have a double jump later on in the game. So yeah, those are what I've got there. And, ability CD hasn't got a use yet, but that's gonna be what I use to attack. And breath, obviously, breath for swimming. Yeah, so that's that. And then we get to the fun stuff. Right, so I've got two control systems, left-handed and right-handed, but if you've only got one, then, just focus on that. So I use key left as the variable so that you can check, if they're pressing the button to make them go left. In this case, it would be A, and key right would be D, and jump would be either space or W, depending on what the player likes to use. But if you wanted to put both left-handed and right-handed into one, you just go OR, and then you can just go like that. And it works just the same as, so then right-handed and left-handed would be together. They'd be one control system instead of two separate ones. Odd is for ordinate. It's like the letters, ABC. It's the alphabet. VK is something else, but that's like shift, delete, backspace, enter, spacebar. All of those. If you want more information, if you press F1, you can go here and you can look up keyboard. Yeah, just all the freaking input buttons and yeah, all these. All the shit that I'm too lazy to explain. But yeah, that's once you've defined all your variables like left, right, jump, ability 1 is my light attack, ability 2 is my heavy attack, or as Kenny wanted me to say, Yagami for light, and Sasha for heavy. Well, I came up with Sasha for heavy because, I like Team Fortress 2, I like the heavy, and his gun's name is Sasha. So heavy is Sasha, light is Yagami. Right, and then I've got a life system, which is a global, which you can just put that, like if I got rid of that global dot, which I was thinking of, and just put it in here. So, in here, I would just go / health, health, and then I just go, player life, and then I'd make that equal 100, and then it's a local variable, which means only this object can use it, nothing else. If that makes sense. But if you want it to be a global, you go in here, the first ever room you create, even if that's your tutorial, like your just base room that you're just testing everything in, go to creation code and create it. Like, all my globals are here, so right-handed, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, whether you're in a new game, if like you've clicked play and then you create a new game, because my loading script is wahoo. I will eventually get round to making a main menu and stuff like that, but most of that code I copied myself, but shh, it's okay, don't worry about it. Player life and checkpoint. Those are my variables. I haven't implemented checkpoints into it yet, into the saving system, so ignore that. The only one I care about is this one, and that's in my initialize room. It's where, like, I say who made it, although this is an old, that's an old image. Let me get my new one in here. So yeah, you can add existing backgrounds and stuff, but none of that matters. Projects, yeah, it should be in here. Why isn't it in here? Right, okay. No. I did it wrong. I gotta create one. Load it. Load it. Yeah, no, not there. It's in projects. And it's this. Alright, there we go. Now I go into my fucking initialized room, backgrounds, go here, boom, there you go. That's better. Much better. So I can get rid of that splash screen now. It's not needed. You're null and void. Right, so now we've got a player with controls, but you can't move him yet, which is a shame. That sucks. So you're asking that then. You can ignore that part. You want this part here. If key left is being pressed, so if in brackets key left, husper, which is what we've got to move, is equal to -8, which means -8 is left. So if I like put that over here, minus equals left plus equals right. Alright, so remember that. And if your image has two different sides, like it faces right or it can face left, then you need this to change it. So always have it facing naturally to the right, because that's the way that every game is played. It plays facing the right. So when you change it, image x scale equals -1, that flips it around so that it's facing the left. And then when you go to the right, like we'll go down here now, if key right, husper equals 8 instead, and image x scale equals 1, so then it's facing back to the right. I can get rid of that now. You guys don't need that, right? You know that retarded. So minus left, positive right. Yeah, so just like if you're pressing key right, husper equals all that. And I'm just taking you through all of my my code now, so then you can copy it and make a game of your own. But now we gotta stop them moving, if ever they let go of the keys, or they press both left and right at the same time. So now we've got if, and you have an open bracket here, which closes over here. And the reason for that is we're having a double OR system, which is checking two, no, not a double OR system, an AND system and an OR system together. So like you check in if these two press together, or neither of these two press together, if that makes sense. I can't explain it, but this one is if they're being pressed at the same time, if they are being pressed, and this one's if they are not being pressed, because we have these little exclamation marks before them. Exclamation mark in coding means not. So if you have an exclamation mark, it says if it's not pressing the key right, the right button to move to the right, then turn the husper to 0. Like so, if key right and key left are being pressed, husper equals 0. If neither key right nor key left are being pressed, husper equals 0. So whether both are being pressed or neither are being pressed, we're resetting the speed to 0. And if you want to, place meeting is just if the sprite or the object you're talking about is touching another object which you're talking about. So in this case I've got water and that, the player. X and Y, because we're in the player code, means the player's X coordinate and Y coordinate, not the water's Y and X coordinate. What have I done? I swapped them around. X, Y, fucking OBJ. There we go. Messed up. Sorry. Oh, fuck. I'm so thirsty. It's a good thing I got my trusty Coca-Cola. I should be sponsored. Coke, sponsor me. But yeah, if you do add a liquid though, make sure that it doesn't have the parent, because you don't want it to act as if it's a wall. You know? Okay, so next we jump. If you don't have water or lava or anything that can change your gravity, that's fine. Ignore this. But if you do, set it so if you're not touching the water or touching the lava or anything that can, change your gravity, Your gravity equals your normal amount. So in my case, it's 0.7. Else, gravity equals zero point 0.2 because both the water and the lava, you go to 0 0.2 gravity pulling you down instead. Don't ask why, that's just what I've got. This is just my water and lava code, but that can be ignored. Right, now this is vertical collision, so to check to see if you've hit the ceiling or the floor to stop your vertical movement. I don't know what most of this means. I got it from somewhere. I've changed it about so much that I've completely forgotten what it means. Because most of the time I was half asleep doing it. I don't even know if I've changed it that much from the original because I don't remember where the original came from. But yeah, the essential part of this is, while you're not, friggin', I forget. Either way, this is just saying if you're touching the floor and you press the jump button, you know, jump into the air, change grounded to 1, which means they're not on the floor anymore. No, that's if they hit the wall, hit the ceiling or the floor. So if they are hitting the ceiling or the floor, then keep on checking. Right. Fuck. Oh, god damn. This is hard to explain because I don't remember. Right. Something along the lines of, if I open up Paint, I gotta open up Paint now. I hope you guys can see this. But anyway, right. Say now that's the block you're trying to touch, and you're coming down at 10 pixels per second, whatever. It will check block by block underneath you your VSPA. So say now you got +8. Like, so if I just create a box here, a nice thick box that I can move about. If you're coming down fast, so much so that if you like went so far, like if you had continued the next frame, you were here, and then the frame after that, you were in the block, it would say, okay, well, we can't do that. So then from here, it would check every block underneath, every pixel underneath you until you were landed perfectly on top of the box. So that you wouldn't go through and you wouldn't be floating above. You would land perfectly on top. And then you just, like, you know, slide across it normally. And then you could jump and it would do the same every single frame. And I'm pretty sure it does that for hitting the ceiling as well. But I'm not too sure about that, because I very rarely allow you to hit your head on the ceiling, because I don't know what it would do. But if you want to make sure that hitting your head in the ceiling is fine, then just change these values to minus, because, right, this is where it gets confusing. VSPA, positive values are down. If you're falling, then that's when you have a positive value. Did I mention jumping? I don't think I did. Yeah, anyway, it's a if key jump. Oh, wait, where is it? Oh, yeah, it's be here. If key jump and grounded. So if you're allowed to jump and your grounded value is set to the default, which is 0, then VSPA equals -10, which allows you to launch yourself up in the air 10 pixels, and then VSPA plus equals gravity will mean that I slow down at 0.7 pixels per second every frame until I come to a stop and start falling again. And I haven't got a maximum fall speed, but if I did, it would be something like if VSPA is greater than 10, then VSPA equals 10. Or if it's like greater than or equal to 10, then it equals 10. So that I wouldn't be able to fall faster than 10. If you want a more in-depth tutorial on anything that I've mentioned, just say, and horizontal is the same as vertical, except you don't need this else grounded, and you can leave out this part here. And make sure, at the end of everything, you have x plus equals VSPA and y plus equals VSPA. Without that, everything you've done doesn't matter, because that means X is equal is your what you've set as husper, and Y is what you've set as vusper. Your X coordinates are left and right, and your Y is up and down, naturally. And that's it. So yeah, I'm gonna go into more detail with stuff next video that I do on this, because that was just a mess that I've just put together because I was bored at 11 o'clock. Yay for boredom. But yeah, next up I'll go into more detail on what I've got for, like, swimming. Like changing gravity back, just overall swimming stuff that you might need when you're doing this on your own. And like I've got alters, which are checkpoints. That's what I got the global checkpoint variable for. Player spawn, which allows you to spawn at your checkpoints when you've like quit the game and you're going back in. And then I'll go into detail on scripts, what scripts are, again, like, you know, how they work, what they do, how you use them and stuff like that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me always save. Always do that shit. It's a great thing to do. Right. Yeah, well, if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, or whatever the fuck you do. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.